Don't need a king.
We found the courage to talk. Have you?
Standing next to me, ready to fight. I appreciate the notion, but don't get so emotional. Honestly, it's getting old.
Hello,
Hi.
everyone, and welcome
to
Courage
to
to Talk. That's so good.
I like it too. It's
We were
smooth.
very in sync back there. Very in sync.
That's what makes it so smooth.
I know we are pretty smooth, aren't we?
Oh yes.
So welcome, everyone. Another week, another fabulous week. Exciting times we are living through, and things are changing by the minute instead of by the day. And let me say, Linda, whether you're for this administration or not, things are changing fast. But we're going to start you off with Linda quoting me.
A quote. Okay, here we go. Eyes don't tell lies.
It's all in the eyes, and they tell no lies. Look at the eyes and avoid the lies.
They change colors on you, right?
I know. A lot of people say a lot of things, and a lot of people love to build illusion. A lot of people come to their own conclusion. A lot of people just love to paint the illusion, love to live in the illusion. But when you come to the conclusion that it's all a delusion, just be careful not to fall into that trap and become delusional. It's a very, very crazy world we live with, especially with AI and everything else. It's very hard to believe what you're seeing and hearing nowadays. So look at the eyes. The eyes never lie.
A lot of people don't and can't look in the eyes.
And that's the first thing when you're talking to somebody and you're looking them in the eyes, and all of a sudden you see them go, well, no, talk to me.
Yeah.
Talk to
Right here,
and
right
they
here.
can't even connect. They can't even connect. You know, all they're saying is rubbish.
When they looking stray over here and casting it over there, something shady is happening,
Yeah,
right?
just walk away. Just walk away. Don't even waste your time. Just walk away. So, let's start our show and get to the bottom of things. Who's lying? Who's telling the truth? Who's being shady? So, Linda, let's see who's being shady.
Okay, so today we're going to start listening to the judicial hearing where AG Pam Bondi is being discussed, or they're asking the questions regarding what's happening. So stay tuned.
Heard it correctly. I heard them say that Joe Biden never targeted his political enemies. Joe Biden never directed his attorney general to target his political opponents. That's interesting, because I could have sworn that yesterday we learned that the FBI tapped my phone. Let's look at it. We've got a list. Tap my phone, tap Lindsey Graham's phone, tap Marsha Blackburn's phone, tap 5 other phones of United States senators. Gee, it sure looks like targeting political opponents to me, and yet I haven't heard a word from that side of the dais about any concern whatsoever. We've got nothing but concerns today, but no concern at all for a Justice Department that is tapping the phones of sitting United States senators because who knows why. They don't like them. They're members of the opposition party. They're Republicans. They're conservatives. You've seen this document, Attorney General Bondi. Well, what is going on here? Who ordered this? Who ordered the tapping of the phones of United States senators?
Senator Hawley, I cannot discuss the details of that right now for very good reason.
You're going to do a thorough investigation into this, I trust. Is that correct?
We will be looking at all aspects of this, and I have talked to Director Patel at length about
And
this.
you're going to figure out who was involved in this, who signed off on it, who knew about it. You're going to get to the bottom of all of it. Is it correct?
Yes, and I've spoken to Director Patel about it, and he is committed to doing this.
Well, I can tell you, we already know many of the details. We already know that this was ordered by the special prosecutor, Jack Smith, who reported directly to the Attorney General of the United States, Merrick Garland. And we know that Jack Smith was...
Well, Queen, the facts are on the table. There's no denying it.
And if you looked Biden in the eyes at that point, you would have known right away. And the most important thing you would have known is not anything that I'm going to say right now. You can't even imagine what I'm going to tell you. Because if they would have looked Biden in the eyes back then, the one thing they would have known, that he wasn't even capable of doing that. Why? Because he had no idea where he even is or what country he was supposed to be running. It's all in the eyes. There's plenty of people. You have to be dead blind and stupid, Linda, in order not to look at the man that was running our country at that time and ask yourself, how does he even know where he is? Forget running the country. He doesn't even know what country he's in.
Well, more the fact that this is a political issue. He has a political fight here, and the taxpayer dollars are being used to fight a political game.
No, they're being abused.
Abused
Abused.
in an illegal way, which is abuse for sure. But still, how can he look you in your face as an American citizen knowing what they're doing? He had some knowledge. Like he said, he want to find out who signed off on it, who ordered it, when it was actually started.
It was everybody around Biden, because obviously at that point Biden couldn't even sign the document himself. Wasn't he signing with that pen that signs for you?
Well, yeah, he did. But this dated back, 22?
He was already won by then.
Well, I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to say this. None of us here are doctors.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, when you see something, you say something. And he didn't say anything because he didn't see anything. Because he wasn't physically there, mentally or emotionally. And that you could see.
So it wasn't lying eyes. It was just not seeing because he couldn't see. He couldn't interpret what was right there in front of him to see it.
Yeah, he just agreed with, I want to make money off of taxpayers' dollars. Yeah, that's what they were doing all along. Why change things? People seem to be okay with it. What I don't understand about the American people, and I am one of those American people, but most American people, the difficulty to understand how the government works. And I've constantly, in 2023 especially, been approached by people saying, oh my God, you have to claim your check with the government. I'm going to steal for myself. People don't even understand that what they're doing is giving out free money. But it's not free, it's free to them. It's not free to you, it's your money. And the more you take, the bigger the deficit gets. At the end of the day, we still pay for it.
That is true. That is so true. And that ticker is still going up, going further in debt because of the abuse that you're seeing, money being misappropriated and funneled to God knows where.
And thank God this administration started with following the money. And that is going to make a big difference for all of us.
I know Biden wasn't at his best. And like I said earlier, I wasn't a doctor, not trying to be funny about it, but knowing that he was not...
You're not trying to be funny, you're trying to be politically correct.
Well, knowing that he had some deficits, everybody saw that. To what extent, I don't know. But a lot of this, I think you were right, was his handlers. His handlers knew what was going on. They probably signed these documents on his behalf, for him not knowing with that famous pen. The electric pen. And was able to actually tape and listen to other congressmen.
Yeah. Can you imagine what they did to the rest of the people? everything that's coming out now. By the way, for anyone that doesn't know, you can actually catch us on YouTube, on the regular channels. These courts are happening constantly now because this administration actually wants you to know what's going on. They want it front row and center. They want your opinion. They want you fighting for what is right.
I do respect that, and I appreciate it. I mean, with deep gratitude, because I want to know. I'm one of the citizens that really want to know. But this hasn't been exposed previously in previous administrations.
Well, it wasn't in their best interest to expose the fraud that they were creating themselves. So obviously we didn't see a lot of it, or none of it.
So it's with deep appreciation that I can see now, understand, and know the money, or follow where the money is going. And that's the taxpayers' money, honestly.
And the amount of work that's been put into these investigations and the things that we're finding out now, my goodness, this country would have been literally down the drain in a couple of years.
They call it deep, deep, deep.
Deeper than deep. It's as deep can get. Well, let's see, Linda.
Yeah.
Let's see
More to
how much.
come.
Yeah.
Egregious, maybe more so than tapping the phones of U.S. senators, is this memo that I know you've seen before. Let's just look at it again. This is an FBI memo from the same time period, I might add, from the same time period, in which the Federal Bureau of Investigation attempts to recruit informants into Catholic parishes in this country. So here you have an administration that is activating the FBI against its political opponents and tapping the phones of United States senators. Can I just say that again for my colleagues, for the benefit of my colleagues on the other side of the dais? Tapping the phones of United States senators. This isn't hypothetical. This isn't maybe what will you do in the future. This isn't, oh gee, can you imagine the situation? This happened. This happened. And this happened. The targeting of Catholics in this country because Joe Biden and his FBI didn't like Catholics who went to a certain kind of mass. I mean, good God in heaven. What?
It's like the former Soviet Union where you couldn't practice even the religions. Some religions you could not practice. So you would walk around. I mean, to see a country like ours, the melting pot of the world, our beautiful United States of America, live in this circus for how many administrations? At least 2.
Yeah.
And all the ones that were leading up to it, all the people that were voted into power, that were mishandling, misusing taxpayers' dollars. I'm speechless.
I understand that. I certainly understand that. You know, Joe Biden was Catholic.
Yeah.
So to target certain Catholics, there's only one Catholic, right? Religion.
Well, I think it was more of what they're saying. Catholic churches that didn't believe in the pay-to-play. Let's be real, and because our show is not politically correct, let's talk about some of the subjects that uncatholize you. Whether you're Catholic, Christian, Baptist, Russian, Jewish, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you're a person of God, you're a person of God.
A faith too. Amen.
And having a son that smokes crack, and goes with getting hookers pregnant, and brings cocaine to a White House, and all that, already that tells you there's no Catholic there. There's churches. It's almost like the reverend that was with the P. Diddy that was doing the
T.D. Jakes.
T.D. Jakes.
Yeah.
He's a reverend. Can you even say that word now? He's a reverend.
Yeah.
He used to give him boys. He used to bring boys for Diddy and his people to rape.
Yeah, those boys became his escort. But again, these ministers, the Catholic minister, I mean...
And it doesn't matter whether he's Catholic or a Jew.
Or Baptist.
You either believe in God or you don't. It's very simple. You can't believe in God and do the things that they did. Again, looking at the eyes, the eye never lied. So these people were smoking crack, going out with hookers, going to other countries, collecting money, making deals under the table with people that are in those governments, using our tax dollars to do this. They were lying on such a scale that I don't think you can get any higher.
Well, just to add to that, you know, and then they turn around on Sunday mornings and they in the pulpit preaching to thousands of parishioners about what? About kindness, about God's love, about doing the right thing and not beholden to the devil that's out there. Who's doing what?
Well, it's like when people do really horrible things and then go to church and say, "Forgive me, Father, that I have sinned." Father doesn't forgive for that. I'm sorry.
Or how many Hail Marys you're going to do to be forgiven?
And I always say,
you know,
I don't understand how these people are not even afraid to walk through the doors of those churches without the lightning taking them down. So, Linda, if you don't think that's bad enough, here you go.
A good God in heaven, what is happening to this country? What happened under Joe Biden? Or then how about this? The infamous school board memo, where Merrick Garland, at the direction of the White House, issued a memo activating the FBI's counterterrorism division against parents who attended school board meetings and had the temerity to ask what their kids were being taught. And some of those parents were treated like this. Let's just remember. Let's remember how parents were treated. Treated like this man. A parent at a school board meeting, I think in Virginia, who was drugged out of the school board meeting. He's bloody there, you can see it. And what was the response of Joe Biden's DOJ and FBI? It was to issue a memorandum saying that people like this ought to be investigated by the counterterrorism unit. And unbelievably, they were. They were. Or how about this? Let's remember Mark Houck and the pro-lifers who were prosecuted for what? For going to a clinic, an abortion clinic, and praying on a sidewalk outside the abortion clinic. This is Mark Houck and his beautiful family at Mass. This man, at the direction of Joe Biden's FBI, this man had an FBI SWAT team come to his door in the early morning hours with his beautiful children there, terrorizing them with weapons drawn. He was then arrested and prosecuted. Unfortunately, a jury acquitted him. This is what was happening under Joe Biden. United States.
Is this okay with you?
Oh, of course not. This is inhumane. This is inhumane to citizens of this United States.
And this is what I want to say to all of us. This is not about politics anymore. No. This is not about dividing us anymore. This is not about not agreeing with each other. This is not the Democratic and Republican Party. There are right things to do, and there are the wrong things to do. And what we're seeing right now is unbelievable, to say the least. Now, this is all, and this all should be in our control, within our control. I'm going to remind everyone, the government works for us. We do not work for the government. And let's discuss how we do that. To begin with, Linda, as we know, as we were taught in school, which nowadays they don't teach you in school, we have the right to choose who we want in office. It shouldn't matter whether you're Democratic or Republican. What should matter to every single one of us is the people, every person that's running for office, has the best interests of our country and its citizens, whether they're the right side or the left side. If they do not want what's good for our citizens and the country, they're not good for any one of us. They're not good for the Democrats. They're not good for the Republicans.
If they can't serve the interests of the citizens and the needs of the citizens, and they'll tell them what they need, then they're not good for this country. And a lot of this shenanigans and inhumane behavior, I'm just appalled. that something like this take place. But being that it's uncovered now, we can see clearly what's happening. All of this was under the table. It was under the rug. A lot of this had been happening to us that we didn't know. But now the door is open.
There's a lot of us that knew, and there were a lot of us that were divided. In being so, there's a lot of us that decided to take on that fight. A lot of us that did not care, because back then it was still okay to live through. Then there were a lot of us that were set up on against each other.
Or head was in the sand,
Yeah.
did nothing. That's right. Yeah.
Now we have an administration, at least for the next 3.5 years, we can say we have an administration that will hear us, that wants to hear us, that wants to know what we need, that is fighting with us, alongside of us, in the front actually.
That's right. Not against us, but with us.
But
That
with
makes
us.
a difference.
We
Yeah.
have a president that loves this country, that has achieved so much for the American people. And we're going to go through that. But the number one thing here is we're all American people. We're all people of America. Whether you're legal or illegal, whether you're going through immigration, whether you're Chinese, Black, Russian, Jewish, whatever you are, we are the melting pot of America. We are not against immigration. We are pro-legal immigration. Our country has beautiful laws, and if we start following them, we not only help ourselves, we help our administration that is fighting with and for the people.
Yeah, back to if they're documented, then that's wonderful. If they're not, then there's a process that's involved. You know, that process is set up just specifically for that. But then I do want to go back to the people that were targeted. You know, there was 92 people that was on that list that was targeted as well.
Better yet, Linda, it was not 92 people. It was 92 names.
Okay,
Not
names,
just of people,
but
of
organizations and foundations.
We have just like Charlie's organization.
Correct.
That organization had thousands of people, which means there are at least hundreds of that organization that were targeted.
But even the correction on the numbers is not the issue. The issue for me is that why are they being targeted? Why are they on the list? What makes them the enemy within our state here? What makes them the enemy?
Because
why do they have to be the enemy? Because their political affiliation is different?
Yes.
That makes that.
I'll tell you how that makes sense. Their affiliation is not just different. What these parties are going for is against to end the fraud within the government.
And that's what's needed.
And unfortunately, we are coming to find out every single day, every time they put a lot more information out for the public to read, see, and verify. It's the Democratic Party that is doing all this fraud, committing all this fraud.
So you've got parents targeted, you've got churches targeted, you've got actual individual Congress people targeted, 92 different organizations, independent and or individuals targeted. Why such an adversarial situation in this country?
Well, they're used to robbing us, and now we are stopping the bleeding in our country.
Well, it needs to stop.
Look who's running
It
our
needs to
country
stop.
now. We have at least 4 women in Congress that hate our country, abused so many laws in the country that they serve, and we allowed them to be chosen. They went through a voting process. We allowed them to be chosen. And that's why I always say, and I always said when the speaking events, it doesn't matter. It's not just the presidential election that you should care about. So, Linda, it is our responsibility as the people of this country to make sure we clean house, just like we do at our homes, just like we do in our neighborhoods, just like we do in our cities and communities.
I agree with you. To clean house and to just try to put things back in perspective, that we the citizen can say, I'm proud of this, or that I love my country. We clean it up now, so we'll be treated fairly, each and every one of us. I don't care what religion or what church you serve. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter. And so the goal is for us to be united and come together. And I like the idea when you say it's not Democrat or Republican. We're the United States of America.
We're the united. United is the key word.
So when are we going to unite? When?
Let's do it. Let's do it now. And I think with Queen for Courage and Queen for Courage Resorts, while we're working on this, we have to start letting people know and allowing people to know and be aware of all this that's going on and why it's so important what we're doing at Queen for Courage. It is another world. It's, when I say another world, it's not another world as we don't know it. It's another world as people of our age or over used to be brought up with values, morals, integrity, family, love, kindness, prosperity, security, where the neighbors knew each other's names, where the neighbors saw that if there's someone not home at the neighbor's house, they would take your kids in their house, feed them, and make them sit at their house until you came back the parent. Where you could trust your neighbors and your neighbors could trust you. When we have neighborhoods full of kids playing in the front yards, not worrying about what's going on.
And we're decent and in order and do the right thing. You know, love the neighbor as well as thyself. And a spirit of giving that God would have us to give.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We need that. We need that more now than ever.
We need that, and I'm going to invite everyone to unite and start the fight for unity. Let's fight for unity. The beautiful way, not just our country, the world connected when we saw one of our own get taken out. When Charlie Kirk was assassinated, the kind of pain so many people went through, the kind of tragedy it was to see someone that bleeds the same color as we do. No one asked what color, race, nationality. It's important because we are all humans, and that's where it ends. So it's very important. We don't just practice, we don't just preach, we practice, and then we preach.
You know, actions can be so powerful, and you don't even have to preach it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's your deeds that count. Yeah.
So, do it. We're with you. Please watch shows like ours and others like ours every day so you are aware. Watch the trials, the courts. Everything is in the public eye right now. Knowledge is power.
And right now, we have more at our fingertips
Than we've ever had before.
That's exactly right. So there's no need of being in the blind and the dark any longer. It's there for you to access, to gain the knowledge and information that you need.
Education is power. Knowledge is power.
Also power. Yeah, it is.
And knowledge is a great and fabulous and the strongest weapon you can ever have to protect yourself. So we'll see you next time.
Visit us on www.xpo20.com.
Awakens and opens the world in colors. Each ray's a hug, a promise, and life dances to the sound of the winds. Beautiful life, how beautiful you are. Woven into threads of hope and stars. Every day is a gift, every day is a gift. To paint with love and laughter.